Welcome to another episode of Camo Crew Outdoors, brought to you by Boneview.
Hey guys, it is December 16th, fine Saturday morning here in Wisconsin. And what I'm basically out here to do is I'm going to be starting my poor man plot today. I know it's a little early, the season's still in here in Wisconsin, but you know, I just couldn't resist. It's really cold out, all the leaves are off the trees, and I got nothing else better to do, so I'm going to get in here and try and start my process here of what I'm going to be doing here. So I decided to take you guys along on this little adventure, and it's going to be a fun one. I'm hoping to turn this grassy patch of trees and pine trees that didn't grow and just other prickly trees and cut them all down and basically create a barrier along the roadside of this little thicket right here, and basically cut this all down come summer and turn this into a good, probably 1/4 of an acre food plot. Put a tree stand on the far end and use it as a great spot to hunt right behind my own house. So I know there's good deer moving in here. I got lots of good trails, so I got my handy dandy saw, and what I'm basically gonna be doing is just cutting down those trails, cutting down the trees, piling them up here on the roadside. That's basically about it. I'm making this a real traditional poor man plot. You know, some people use chainsaws. Other people use like maybe rollers or something to lay out the land. Nah, I'm using, like I said, my little saw here. I'm cutting them down by hand and trying my best to stick to the old ways of making the food plots. So it'll be an adventure, and stick with us. Alright guys, just as I'm doing this, you know, I was noticing that, you know, using this handsaw, it's pretty hard to get down to that base. So if you are using a handsaw because you don't have a chainsaw or you want to do the traditional way, I'd just say I'd say leave about 6 inches or so. That way, one, you can see your stump, because say you're going to go over this, mow it all down with the lawnmower. You don't want to be running that over that stump with the lawnmower, ruining a blade or flattening a tire or something. So leave it up where you can see it. Maybe come back in and spray it with some herbicide or something. But you don't have to get all the way down to the ground. I mean, that's really hard to get down that far. Sometimes it gets hard on your hands and knees. I know it already is on mine. I cut down probably about 20 trees, some little, some decent size, as you saw. So get my workout here cut for me. But you know, it's good for me. Need my exercise, I guess. But got a couple more trees left here to go. I'm gonna go up, cut some trails, and as I'm looking in here, actually, I'm seeing a lot of fresh deer poop, deer beds. I mean, I'm just seeing a lot of exciting stuff that makes me happy, because I know that deer are coming in here, and they're using this frequently. I mean, there's good trails coming out of these pines here to the north of me, and you can probably hear that car behind me. That's why I'm creating that barrier up on the west side, so that way the deer don't get too scared. When they hear a car or see a car, they can just go back to feeding. That's why I'm making that barrier. So I think I got my tree picked out. I'll have to go over and check it. It looks pretty good from this angle. It looks like there's a good amount of cover. So stay tuned for the rest. Alright guys, so I got this pretty big tree right here. I mean, it's probably a good 6 inches in diameter. I mean, I'm not even going to attempt to cut that down with the handsaw. Some of these trees are giving me struggles, and they're probably about 3 inches, and this is double that, so I decided just to leave it. But as I was thinking about, you know, leaving it, what I was thinking what I should do is I'm going to cut down these side branches here with my saw and then use those to add to the barrier up there. Believe a good about 6 feet and above with the branches, and then 6 feet and below here with no branches, but except maybe this little one here that I'm going to use as a scrape branch. So that way come next fall, I'm going to have a good scrape right under this tree, and based on where my tree is, that'd probably be about 30 yards, I'd say. So pretty excited about this tree. I'm deciding I'm just going to leave it. I found a good scrape tree right next to it, so I'm just going to leave that tree there because, you know, the deer hitting scrapes on it. So if they keep continuing, that'll be another 30-yard shot. So don't have to get all the trees out of the food plot, just got to get the majority ones. So yeah, this tree's going to give me some challenges, but I found a way around it. So that's basically all you gotta do, is just think about, you know, what can this tree do for me if I'm not gonna take it out. And that's basically what I did, and found myself a solution. So stay tuned for more. Well guys, got my one branch here left. That's gonna be my scrape branch tree. Just gonna leave that there. But cleared out the rest of the brush right here on the tree. I'm gonna leave everything from about here up. Deer can't really reach that, and basically it also provides an easier walkway, so there's no branches poking in their eyes or hitting their antlers and velvet. But that's basically all about what I'm gonna do with this tree. Maybe in, say, about 5 years or so. I mean, it's pretty big now. It grows up a little bit. You know, who knows? This could be a killer spot for a tree stand come about 5 years down the road. So that's also a good thing to think of, is what can you do down the road with it. So yeah, found this tree's purpose, and that's about it. Now I'm gonna head on and move over to the trails and clear some of those up. So stay tuned for that action. Well guys, that tree right there with the big V that you guys can see right up there, that's probably going to be my tree stand most likely, because one, it's got a V, so it probably means I could put a tree stand in the left side and then put the camera guy in the right side if I wanted to, or lower than me, I guess. And then also it's got lots of cover. As you can see, there's like lots of this brush right here in front of it from this big sprouted out apple tree. This will have apples come season, so another reason why to put it here. Also, you know, there's a trail right down here that goes out right here, and then I got the food plot obviously right out here behind me. So this is the best tree I can find, and it's honestly the best tree in my opinion for this area. I mean, I could probably get a good 30-yard shot all the way out into the food plot where that scrape tree was from this tree. So nothing wrong with this tree at all. Provides a good view, as you guys can see here real quick. This will all be cleared up. That's my scrape tree right out there. And this will all be planted in food plot next year. My barrier is going to be all the way right out there, all the way across there, kind of like a bush of trees. That's what it'll be. And then I got the North Pines right there. That's where the deer bed. And there's some good trails coming, like right down there in that little opening. There's a good trail. In that opening, there's a good trail right over there. You know, I got this natural trail that comes right down here. So just an amazing place for a food plot. Best place for a tree stand right here behind me. So this will be a fun project to work on all summer, and hope you guys enjoy it. Well guys, it is later in the afternoon of the same day. I was working on those trees earlier this morning, getting them cleared out of here and cleaning up that one tree down here to the south of me. But as I told you guys, I was going to come up here and work on these trails up here in the North Pines. And as you can see right over my shoulder, there's some pine trees back there. So I'm up here. I already got these trails right here picked out. I mean, there's deer trail right here, deer trail back over here on my shoulder. They're coming out of these pines, but you know, they're not very open. So deer can't really see in there very well until it's a trail. They just kind of like walk through there and come out in the same spot. So what I'm basically going to be doing is just taking my old tree trimmer here and my saw again. I'm just going to be walking up through these trees and kind of opening them up so that way the deer can see through there and see and navigate their way through these pine trees. And basically, it's basically going to be creating my own trails so that way the deer have to take my trails instead of their own. And that way I can use them to my advantage. I can actually take these trails, lead them to come out, you know, say 20 yards in front of my stand, so when they step out they're already in shooting range. So that's a great technique. That's what I'm going to be using right now. It's really easy actually. Just go through there and clear out all the brush. Take the brush, I'll be adding that brush up there to my barrier. Everything that I cut out of here or something is going to be going up to that barrier, you know, help build it, make it stronger and less see-through. So that's basically about all I'm doing right now. So let's go working on those trails while it's still warm out here. Literally simple as that, man. I mean, you guys saw how thick that cover was right there. And now it's a open travel lane, so just how easy it is. You know, that tree trimmer worked like a boss for me. So deer will easily be able to identify that as a trail, take it and be coming right through here and down into the food plot they go. So that's a benefit for me and a benefit for the deer. So another great tactic to remember is use those trails to your advantage, and that's what I'm doing right here. So stay tuned for the rest of this.